Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to this episode of A Woman's Prerogative. Today we are talking about the cost of living, the crisis, how families are really managing in these times. So I am Lydia Fougere, Reverend Lydia Fougere. I am your host, and our co-host is Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, who is owner and manager of this TV station. So we provide high-class education for all our viewers and encourage our followers to have access to free content that will help them in their journeys. We are viewed on USA Global TV, in E360, and the Global TV, and by 106,000 followers in both channels, and on Dr. Jacqueline's personal account on YouTube. So, I am Reverend Lydia Fougere, Master's in Metaphysics, registered nurse, holistic nurse, speaker, elevated listener, and world author of the series 111 Reflection for Thy Earth Odyssey. I am also a spiritual teacher who works on personal transformation, introspection, mindfulness, and compassionate self-discovery. I invite my readers to engage in life through curiosity, clarity, and sense of sacred connection through my programs. You can contact me to register to my groups to achieve an exciting spiritual journey. My coordinates will be in the show later on. I introduce you to Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, who is the most amazing person in the world. She is, as I said, our owner, founder. She is the winner of the Silver Star Award. She won in April 2025. She is a well-known author, world-known author, 25 books, actually, maybe more. I lost track. And the thing is that she also teaches elevated listening. So I consider that people should actually reach out to Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck and listen to her shows because she is extraordinary. So here I am, Dr. Kerbeck. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yes. So I just wanted to share with our audience exciting news, which is we are over 108,000 subscribers on our USA Global TV and Radio. And I think we're over 38,000 on our Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. So thanks to everybody for watching and subscribing and following. We really appreciate it.
Yes. Isn't it amazing? Huh? It's been 4 years you have the station. And so much has happened ever since you started the station. I know that I've only been here 2 years, and in 2 years, there's been such growth, and you have done so much for the station and for everyone. I am amazed. I am thrilled every single day. It is such a beautiful journey for everyone. The shows are interesting and it's easy to interact with the shows, and people can comment also if they want.
Absolutely. It certainly has been a journey. And I just was reflecting on the fact that it all came about really because of the pandemic and me being a full-time caregiver for my mother. And I needed to find something to do because I was in the house with her. And so what went from being a hobby is now a global business. So thanks to you for being part of it and to everyone else. And I'm excited to see where we go from here and also to talk about our topic today.
Yes, our topic today. Okay. So we are talking about the cost of living. The cost of living, which is absolutely incredible. I have I have had an experience last week. I went to the grocery store, something that I do not go, and usually I do not, because I shop online and on Amazon. And what happened is that I saw a man with his three children, and he was trying to do the grocery, and the children kept asking things, and he was actually saying all the time, no, it's too expensive, no, we can't afford it, no this, no that. So I thought it was like eye opener for me. It was really an eye opener for me. And I was thinking to myself, because we are only two, my spouse and I was thinking to myself, people are having trouble to make ends meet lately. So the thing is that salaries have not gone up, but the price of living, the cost of living has really increased. So we have to understand that something has to be done, and we have to see shopping in a different way. We have to find some alternatives to the way we eat and to the way we shop, and we have to do something because there's not enough for everyone. That is the way it is. People do not have enough money to actually buy what they want, what they used to have. So that is the way I see it. So how do you see it, Dr. Jacqueline?
Well, you mentioned that you're one of two, and I'm actually one of one. So our situations are different than families, but it can be obviously very cost prohibitive, especially if you are looking to have a diet that is based on organic, which can be more expensive, and you're looking to do something very healthy as opposed to a lot of packaged, easy to grab foods, which I think is what ends up happening with a lot of people, or maybe they start eating at fast food places where the cost seems to be less. So one thing that I know just from doing some research is obviously it's less expensive if you eat at home, and it's even less expensive in some cases if you grow your own food. And depending on where you live in the world, this may or may not. Obviously, where you're living, where I'm living, we had a blizzard the last day or so, and your temperatures are extremely cold. That seems to be a challenge. But what are your thoughts about staying at home? How often do you go out to eat, and what do you find when you do about the prices?
Well, I never eat. I never eat out. Actually, never do. I do not. I avoid. I avoid restaurants. I avoid packaged food. I cook at home. Actually, I'm a person that eats a lot of salad, and I eat healthy. That is pretty much. And I am an exception to a lot of people. My spouse and I are hunters, so we actually hunt our own meat. So we hunt deer in the fall, and we have enough for our winter. And through the summer, we have enough up to the fall. So we have an advantage, but the thing is that, when you actually hunt a deer, it is people do not understand that there is the price of the permit, there is the price of going to hunt. There are a lot of expenses to hunting, and there is the price of the butcher. So yes, the meat might seem free, but it is very far from free. But it is meat that is bio, at least. So that is the way we do things here.
Yes, that's a completely different world than what I'm used to. So, congratulations on doing that. I do know that as a result of my working with Roland Friedel, who's one of our team members in Juice Plus, that there is a way for people to actually grow their own vegetables and fruits, edible fruits in the home, regardless of what the temperature is outside. So, that's always an option for people as well. So, I do not go out really very much at all. And in terms of what I have on the day-to-day basis, it's pretty much the same food, even though I've been told by some people on our team in the course of their TV shows that we should switch up our proteins. But I know regardless, it's important for all of us to have our protein. And so I guess we can each consume it in different ways. So what are your thoughts about giving children options to select their own food versus determining in advance what it is they're going to eat? One seems to be potentially more cost effective.
Well, my thoughts about that is that do not give the choice to the children because they will choose processed food. They will choose gummy bears. They will choose things like that. They will choose sausages. They will not actually choose healthy foods. They will French fries, McDonald's, Burger King. That is pretty much what they will choose. So the thing is that it is for the parent to actually have a lot of imagination and not do macaroni and cheese every day. So that is the way things should be. And to have a variety of proteins for the children and even now, we have the children actually that go to school that bring their lunch. They cannot bring nuts at all, which is a very good protein. They cannot bring nuts at all because of allergies that are so spread out. I am allergic to nuts, every kind of nuts, and it is extremely dangerous. And the people, the families actually should think about a variety of food. Like they can cook with eggs. They can do a lot of things with eggs. The price of eggs has gone up. Everyone talks about eggs, but the price of eggs has gone up. But chicken is affordable, so they can go to chicken. And we have talked about Costco previously, you and I think that we should actually go into the the subject of Costco versus other stores.
Absolutely. So for people who are not aware, I don't know if they have Costco all over the world or not, but it's basically buying product in bulk. And Costco offers a membership option. I think they have two options actually, where you purchase a membership and then you can come in and then you can select your items that are typically in bulk as opposed to what you would find in a typical grocery store. So I am not a Costco customer because I'm one person. That doesn't mean that it's not for everyone. Again, we're not Costco spokespeople in any way, but in doing some research, I saw that Consumer Reports has said that in the States, Costco is the least expensive of the grocery store chain. So what are your thoughts there about that? And in Canada, what are you experiencing?
Well, we have been experiencing a lot of high costs at Costco. Costco has increased their costs a lot. And so now we have stores like Maxi, Super C, Loblaws that actually are trying to compete. But still then, Costco, if you buy bulk, it will be less expensive at Costco. But the thing is that if you're just two people or one person buying at Costco by in bulk, yeah, you will actually end up throwing some food. Actually, if you you buy in bulk quantities. So you do not save. Actually, if you buy 10 pounds of oranges, you will not actually save if you have to throw 7 pounds of these oranges. So it is good for a family. And the advantage with Costco actually is that they have clothes also. So they do have clothes, good brands. They do have clothes. So when you go to Costco, you can have pretty much everything from mechanics to whatever, so you can find everything there. But actually, stores like Super C, Maxi, Loblaws, IGA here in Canada is extremely expensive, but they are trying to improve. So they are starting doing selling in bulk quantities also. Maxi has started selling in bulk quantities also without having a membership card, because the membership card actually is quite expensive when you think about that at Costco. It is not everyone that wants it. So, because if you do not spend that much at a Costco, you do not have to have a membership. It is not worth it. If you are only one person, you will not save enough to even pay your Costco card. So that is pretty much the whole thing. But Super C's are Giant Tiger. People do not think about Giant Tiger, but Giant Tiger has a very large selection of food here in Canada.
I can't speak to that because I don't know about that. But one suggestion that I have, which is what I use and you in a way as well, is I don't go to the grocery store. I feel like there's a lot of temptation when you're walking through the aisles. You're like, oh, I don't need this, or I don't need, let me just get this, let me get that. So I order everything online.
Yes, I do that also. And there's the fact is that we if we are hungry, you've been talking about it. If we are hungry, it is not time to shop groceries. Actually, it is really not time. We have to eat a snack before we start shopping our grocery, because we will buy anything. But there is also um, we don't advertise for any stores, so that is something that people have to know. There is also Amazon also that offers grocery that is worth it, because I ordered a case of 24 cans of tuna, and it was really affordable. So the thing is that it takes a long time to have. So the thing is that it takes a month for the shipping, but it is worth the wait. So
Yeah.
that is what I think. So it is worth the wait because I'm a person that eats a lot of tuna. So
I do
it is
too.
really worth the wait.
Well, you know
So
what I think that
that is,
one of the big advantages of ordering online is that you get to see how much everything is. So if you think about it, when we're walking with a cart through a store, are we sitting there with our phones or a calculator going, okay, $1.25, 7.50? No, pretty much we're not. So by the time we get to checkout, we really don't know. We could estimate that it's X number of dollars, but when you're ordering online, it's adding it up for you right there, and you see exactly what it is, and you're not being tempted to buy anything else. Although there will be a pop-up or on the platform that I use at the end. Are you sure you don't want to buy any of these things? Or your dasher can go to other places and pick up things for you. But you see exactly what it is that you're getting, as opposed to walking into the grocery store. Who knows what your state of mind is at that point, and you're subject to seeing all these things that you necessarily wouldn't even be interested in. I know the place where I do buy my groceries from, not only do they have groceries, but they've got housewares. They've got a lot of really nice things, plants, flowers that you might not necessarily need. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're finding yourself purchasing them. So I like the fact that online you see exactly how much everything is. So you already know how much it's going to be. And are you paying more because here in New Jersey, we don't have plastic bags anymore, so you actually have to pay for the bags. But I use the bags for goodwill when I'm giving things away. And is there amount of money that I have to pay for someone to go and get it? Absolutely. But the amount of time and gas and just walking around aimlessly in the store, I mean, the whole thing, it just takes time. So to me, this is a much better use of my money and time.
Same for me. Exactly the same thing, because I live 45 minutes away from the first stores. So I don't live in the city. So the thing is that the first grocery stores, they're 45 minutes away. So that is 90 minutes just to travel, plus the gas, plus the loss of time, plus buying all surplus that we buy. So the thing is that I do not do it. So what I do is that I order online, and my spouse picks up the grocery on his way. So everything is all ready. Someone has done the grocery for me. We give a tip, and then that is it. It gets into the car and it is over. I have everything I need. I go according to my recipes, nothing extra. That is the way I work. So I buy what I need for my week, and that is all. That is the way I work, and I am sure that I am saving a lot more than when I was living in the city and going to shopping every single week. That is the way I see it.
Yeah, I see it the same way. And I think another way for people to save money, if you think about bottled water, I mean, depending on where you live in the world, I don't know if your water is drinkable or not. And we'll talk about your situation because you have kind of a unique situation, I think. But for many years, I used to buy bottled water, and I would have it shipped from Amazon by the case. And I used to feel kind of ridiculous with all the empty bottles that are supposedly going to be recycled. I don't know if they're really going to be recycled or not. But so now I have water filters so that I'm not spending money for plastic bottles and to have, buy cases of water. And then when I work out, I love the fact that they have these water fountains that they give you filtered water right there. So you just put it in your reusable water container holder, and then you just drink the water from there. So that's a big cost savings, I think.
Yes, you are right. You're right, because the water is really expensive. Because when you think about buying the water by the bottle, it is totally ridiculous, actually, totally ridiculous. But yeah, the situation with the water here.
Tell us.
Okay. We live in the country, and what happened is that there is a hose that actually burst because it was too cold. It was minus 30 degrees Celsius last 10 days ago. So there's a hose that burst. What happened is that our pump exploded and whatever, so we were without water. So this has been for the last 10 days, because the thing is that we have the vein actually blocked, because it was a vein of water in the soil. So the thing is that the vein blocked. So now we have to have a well that will have to be dug next weekend, because this weekend I cannot take care of this. So what happened is that my spouse, who is a very intelligent man, actually came up with a system of he actually bought a tank of 1,100 liters of water. We pump it from the lake, we filter it, and then it goes through the house. Everything goes through the house as if we still have water. But we are lucky people, because the thing is that with that drama about the water, we were 5 days without water at all, without knowing what to do, before he came up with a super system. So the thing is that if it was someone that does not know how to do things, they would be something like 12 days without water, because the well cannot be dug yet, not before Saturday or Sunday. So living in the country is extraordinary. You have deer, you have raccoon, you have a lot of fun. But the thing is that sometimes when things go wrong, they really go wrong.
Absolutely.
That-
Yes. Yeah, that's the way that it is. So, what are your thoughts about using coupons? Is this something that people do anywhere? Do you use coupons? I remember growing up, my mother would get this Sunday newspaper and she'd be clipping the coupons and then she'd stack them all up. And then sometimes you get double or triple off on the coupons. And now they have store reward cards. So, I don't know if they're in place of coupons, but you automatically get a certain amount of money taken off if you have a store reward card and that item is on sale. How do you do it? So actually, now that I think about it, because I am ordering online, my store card is tied to the Dasher account, and so it automatically takes off the money. So I'm not actually using any coupons.
Well, it's same for me, but I do not see coupons anymore, actually. Not here in Quebec. We do not see, because I'm in the French province. So the thing is that we do not see coupons anymore. We actually, everyone has a reward card for pretty much every store. But the thing is that it's when you go to that store, you have something like 20 reward cards. So the loyalty cards. So you have all of those cards. So you do not know. It takes you 5 minutes at the cash to get all to find the right card. So I do not understand. I always say, why don't we go by phone numbers instead? Because the thing is that we have 25 cards in our wallet, so it takes a big wallet. But the thing is that no more coupons, no more cutting coupons, no more. Well, first of all, everything is paperless here. There's no more plastic bags. There are no more bags neither. They do not give bags neither. So you have to buy your material bag. And the thing is, or they will provide cardboard boxes if at some stores, but you do have to come up with your bags. And the thing is that I do like you. I give out the clothes with those bags that actually I buy from stores because eventually we come up with, we have something like 75 shopping bags that we have to give away anyways. But there's also the Goodwill store. As you say, what I do is that since they actually sell the bags to people when they actually go, what I do is that I take several bags, I take piles of bags and go bring them there to help them out because I have too many bags and they need the bags. So I recycle the bags that way.
I think it's important. Absolutely. I know here where I am, we use the phone number as well. You don't have to take out the card. And the other thing that's kind of cool, if people go to Whole Foods, which is owned by Amazon, I believe, then you actually can have your phone, you go to the Amazon app, and then you can pull up a QR code that the register will scan, and that automatically gives you the discount information because you're a Prime member, Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, we do not have this here yet. So that is something that I do not see. Well, I might not have seen it. It is not because maybe it is there, but maybe since I do not go out very much, I do shows, but I do not go out very much. So the thing is that maybe I just did not see it yet. Maybe it is here, maybe it is not. But it depends on the province also, because the thing is that here in the province of Quebec, everything has to be bilingual. So the thing is that Amazon actually they had warehouses here in the province of Quebec, but the problem is that since everything has to be translated, that is a lot of money for Amazon to have everything translated. So they moved to Ontario, and I understand them. I do understand them because having everything translated for one province, that is something. So I understand them, and that is the way. But families actually, the way they manage is that they still find it very difficult and they have to make ends meet. And the cost of living, the cost of gas, the cost of everything, we are the lucky ones because we do not have little ones that actually ask for whatever, that they were used to have whatever product they were used to have. And like here in Canada, the price of dairies is very high compared to United States. So, and dairies, those are very important. Dairy food is very important. But the thing is that dairy food is very expensive in Canada and not in United States. So the thing is that, there's an advantage in United States for dairies. But the thing is that we have an advantage like for beef, things like that. We have an advantage like for wheat, flour. We do have a great advantage also. So the thing is that what happens is that the two countries, I cannot speak for other countries. I know that in New Zealand, the price of fruits is incredible, and they say that meat is unaffordable. I have a friend there, and she said that meat is absolutely unaffordable in New Zealand. So the thing is that, well, meat is starting to be unaffordable everywhere to start with. But the thing is that, in Canada and US, we do compare. And the thing is that it's pretty much the same because it depends on the products. So the dairy is more expensive, but actually, if we go and shop in the United States and we do our grocery in the United States, before I used to go do my grocery in the United States, I was 5 kilometers from the border. And you have biofood. Biofood is a lot less expensive in the United States than in Canada. In Canada, biofood, organic food is extremely expensive. But in the United States, it is very reasonable. So the thing is that there's a lot of advantages in United States, a lot in Canada also. It just depends on what we eat and what do we want, depending on our country. That is pretty much what do we want. That is. So we have to take decisions. What's the advantage in our country and take advantage of the advantage. That is pretty much what we should do.
I agree. And I think also before we go shopping, when we go into a store, we have to have a plan, and we can't let temptation and distraction or even prepared foods. Sometimes it's so easy just to grab something because it's already made. And like I said, with the way I'm shopping, the way you're shopping, we're not doing that, but it is easy to do that. And also when you're waiting in the checkout line to leave, a lot of times there are things there they put that are temptations, right? That you could easily just grab them and say, hey, I'm going to add this to my order, add that to my order, when we don't really need to do that.
Yes, chocolate bars.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not eat chocolate, but the thing is that, it's tempting. So the thing is that, when I see that the chocolate bars at the exit, oh, it's my Lord.
Well, that's why they put them there, because people will grab that on the way out. And it's like that in a lot of stores, they have things on either side to distract people, and you just throw it in and you think, well, it's a small thing. How much is it going to cost? But again, when you buy online, you know exactly how much everything costs, and you can actually make a budget. So I know every week how much I'm going to be spending because I'm ordering the same things over and over again, and I know exactly how much they cost. So I think shopping with a plan is a good idea. I think making sure that you're not hungry, you're not going when you are actually hungry, and then not bringing the whole family with you so that they can be, put this, can we have that? Can we have this? Just throwing stuff into the cart. But the fact that the food costs are higher is definitely an issue. And so there's only really two things we can do, which is we can have more income or cut our costs. That's really what our options seem to be.
Exactly. And not having any impulses when we shop. We have to stop. If we have an impulse to buy something, we have to say no. That is all. We have to control ourselves. That
Yeah,
is the way we have. So if we want to control our children, we have to learn to control ourselves also. So
that's
that
very
is the way
true.
we
I
yes.
saw
So
someone famous being interviewed recently, and someone said, "What do you do with all of your money?" And he said, "I invest it or I spend it on experiences." And he said, "I look at it, and obviously food is a different situation because we need food to live. But he looks at it, will I still think that this was a good decision 5 years from now?" So anytime we're looking at things that we don't need, 5 years from now, will I be giving this away? Will I be looking and going, why did I spend my money on this? Because we tend as humans to spend money on things that we don't necessarily have to have, but it's sort of like fulfilling a void that we have, or maybe we're bored or we're just being spontaneous. So I like that idea of what would I think of this purchase 5 years from now?
yes, that is very good because when you had the waters, when the water was all over your apartment, you remember your beautiful purses that actually you had bought at this really expensive price, and you actually had to give away or throw. That was something that, if you had known that they would end in the garbage, you would not have made those purchases, because purses can be something like $10,000 easily. So the thing is that you were looking at that, they were ruined, and it was like that person. 5 years from now, do I need it? Do I really need it? And the thing is that I loved your answer when you said, whatever, I just did not have to buy it. That the way you reasoned yourself, I really liked it because it was showing that you had really thought the matter very much. And it was we could see the adult in you about the purses that were ruined. I really did see something about you that I admire, because losing something so valuable, and you just said, well, so be it. It happened.
Yeah, thank you. And for those who don't know, I had a number of beautiful designer handbags that were in my closet, and my closet was flooded. And so the bags actually had mold growing on them. And when you see something that, I have some beautiful things that I've kept for years and sometimes decades, and they're packaged and they're stored a certain way. And when you see them just ruined because of something out of your control, and then I realized that they represented a time in my life that doesn't exist anymore, because as we get older, we start making different decisions, and who I was then and who I am now are very different. And it's just kind of acknowledging that, like, would I go out today and spend that kind of money on a handbag? No, I wouldn't. Not because there's not potentially value in it. First of all, a handbag, designer handbag from 20 years ago or 10 years ago versus what it costs today, there's no comparison in the prices. But today I would look and say, well, what could I do with that money? And probably a better decision is to invest it so that you have money that's making money while you're sleeping, as opposed to a lot of things in your closet that you're not going to use and just are getting old and dusty. And then, of course, people will say, well, you can sell them. Yeah, sure, you can sell them. I've had stores on eBay. I've put things in consignment, but you never get back typically what it was that you paid for it. So enjoy what you have and just think about what you're going to do before you spend the next time, because as we get older, our choices and our interests and our needs and wants and desires do change.
Exactly. You are so right. You are right. That is so right. So that is it. So now we are at the end of our show. So thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, for being here. So I am Reverend Lydia Fougere, and I wish you a wonderful week and see you next week. We are going to be next week at the same time for this show, A Woman's Prerogative, Dr. Kerbeck and myself. See you.
In a noisy world, true connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity, reflect back, agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day, Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, only here on USA, Global TV and Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.